Okay.
Mike Todd with ESPN. Notice any difference in the mood around the team when it's coming after a win as opposed to what you guys have been going through?
I think that's obvious. Yes, I mean, it's definitely a different feeling today. But, I think the biggest thing is we're on a short week, and, just the guys did a great job of getting in here, getting done what they needed to get done in the morning, and, I had later meetings. This was kind of a Wednesday for us. Excuse me.
With where you guys are and big picture views, do you do any of that yet? Do you think, okay, 2013 where you guys were and then you made a run late, do you get to that point yet at all?
No.
Think of any of that?
No. It's a fast week. I do know that just from having the opportunity to compete on Thanksgiving. I mean, it's a great game, obviously the history of it, especially the history here in Dallas. But there's so much to do, and you have to do it in a timely fashion because, the recovery of the players is at the top of the list. I mean, that's just the way I've always approached this game. So just getting them on a routine to make sure that we get, the game plan in order. But the rest of recovery is at a premium this week.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. He didn't play a whole lot, but you talked about Linville Joseph, his messaging to the team. Can you share a little bit about what that meant to
Yeah, definitely. I thought Linville did a really nice job. We have weekly captains. He was the defensive weekly captain this week, and really all the captains have done a really, really nice job. They have an opportunity to speak in the final team meeting, and his message just really resonated. I think just like anything, he brings an unbelievable wealth of experience to our football team, and he's kind of like E.F. Hutton. All these guys don't know who the hell E.F. Hutton is, but for us, for our generation, we understand it. When he says something, people listen.
Yeah, that pretty full injury report. Any concerns about Cooper being on there right now?
I'm sorry?
You have a pretty full injury report. Any concerns about Rush being on there today?
Just left Cooper earlier, but no, he's got some work to do, but I think we're gonna be fine.
Sorry, this is the Athletic. Mike, early 2000s, you were in New Orleans when John Carney missed that extra point.
Wow, that's great memory. Why are we bringing that up now?
Well, for you yesterday when Seibert kind of missed it, for you being on the opposite end, just what are the emotions of that kind of play? You were on that end of it, and then you were on the other side of it yesterday.
Yeah, no, that was amazing. I can see the similarity now, but that was an amazing play. But that was the last play of the game. New Orleans at Jacksonville, the River City Relay, if you want to get it right in your article. But and it was two jet all go special was the call, relay. So just you can put that in there too. But no, really cool play. Yes, but I think it just goes to show you this game. I mean, nothing's automatic. Like John Carney, incredible field goal kicker, and I think at that time, and I don't know if he still may be. Yeah, I mean, he was the highest percentage, rated kicker, I think, in NFL history at that time too. So, but yeah, definitely. That game yesterday in the fourth quarter was as wild as any game that I've ever been a part of. So, I'm sure it was a great game to watch.
With extra points like that, though, when it is just 1 point, and what are your feelings? Are you kind of moving on to the next emotion, or do you take it for granted? Or I know the distance was different too.
Yeah, definitely. I think as a head coach, it's your job. It's your job to be always the next play, the next situation ahead. I mean, it's no different than calling offense. Once the play is called, if you call 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, maybe you're already on to second 1 to 7, second 8 plus. You're always anticipating the next call. So definitely. I mean, that's how I do it. I was glad it happened. So.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. I think there was a lot to say just about the fight around the team, not only in the final 5 minutes, but throughout. But where would you say that fight's kind of come to the surface over the course of the last few weeks with guys like Dak, DeMarcus Lawrence, Al, who have been the guys that have kind of embodied that for you guys?
Did you say fight?
Fight, yes.
Yeah, fight? I think as a whole, they've just done a great job. It starts in the preparation phase, just really staying the course, because you're always looking for things. And you can overdo it too. You can look at things, with a sensitivity that, doesn't give clarity. But I don't feel like that exists in our operation. So, and hopefully it never does. But yeah, they've done a really nice job staying the course as far as preparing. But yeah, I mean, if need a definition of urgency, we've had it around here, the last month, and I'm frankly just thankful and just really happy for the players, that they had the success that they've worked so hard to achieve. So, but yeah, the fight has definitely been there. I think when you see young players, particularly guys that don't get a lot of opportunities, I think Brock Huffman definitely brings that different type of energy that everybody on offense loves. You got to recognize Josh Butler, just the way he played. Came on Hall. I mean, he's a tough kid. These younger guys that are getting opportunities, but going in and playing with physicality and so forth. So I think that just shows to them and as individuals, the confidence that they have. But this group has really stayed the course.
And in the run game, having 2 replacement guards up front, maybe
Yep.
surprise is the wrong word, but did you expect that type of production in the run game?
Well, that was the plan. It was ground and pound. I mean, that's where we went into it. And frankly, I thought if we could have did better on third down, we would have really been in the type of game we wanted to play. I would have liked to definitely ran the ball more. But yes, I thought those guys did a really good job inside.
Joe.
Joe Hoyt, All City Dallas. You kind of touched on it earlier, talking about Josh Butler and these guys. Like, how much can guys like that who are just really relishing this opportunity, how much that can infuse, I guess, a little momentum into the team overall in terms of that fight?
Oh, definitely. Confidence, production. It definitely brings juice. You could see it. You could see it during the course of the week. Just like even today, announcing the game ball winners. It's also Josh Butler had a hell of a day today. It's his birthday. He won the game ball winner for yesterday's game. He was a captain this week. That's a trifecta. So, but the energy that the team shows in those moments, I think, is a great illustration of what's really going on in the locker room.
Chauncey Golson, since week 5, has been playing a little more outside. Obviously had a good game yesterday. How comfortable just do you see him, and just how have you seen him develop over the last?
Just really happy for Chauncey. He's done so much for us in his time here, and just on special teams, and he does the little things that no one knows. He uses the wing on field goal protection, and so, but he's played a lot of different techniques, and he's never really given an opportunity to truly find it a home. So just to see him play not only as much as he's been playing and contributing, it's just it's been great because you just remember those days of development, and he's really worked his tail off.
Garrett Podell, CBS Sports. Mike, Devontae Turpin told us in the locker room that you and him have a close relationship and that your embrace on Sunday really meant something to him. Can you sort of just talk about your relationship and how you've seen it develop on and off the field since you joined the team 2 years ago?
Well, I can't just say enough about Turp. I remember the first day I met him at training camp, coming off of the MVP season, for the USFL, and just a bit overwhelming, just for when he arrived at training camp, and just some players you connect with quicker than others, and just always encouraged him at those moments because he's special. That's a special young man. He's as dynamic of a player, let alone a returner that I've been able to work with. So. And it's just been really cool to watch him grow. So he's got a great personality, and he lights up the room. He's has a great sense of humor. So just really enjoy him.
Tommy Yarsh, DallasCowboys.com. You haven't had the left or right starters next to each other on the offensive line probably as much as you want continuity-wise. So for 2 guys to step in and Austin and Tyler rotating at left guard, what does that say about the depth up front?
Well, I think it really just says a lot about the connection in the offensive line room. And I just think like anything, you start with your veterans, with Zach Martin and those guys bring to the table. Obviously the coaching with Mike Solardi and Chin, those guys do a phenomenal job. Week in and week out, but the connection between that group is very high. You've already stated the goal. You definitely like to have more continuity. I think everybody would like to come out of camp and watch 5 guys line up and practice every single day together and play together because, the numbers speak for themselves. When you do have that continuity, the success rate is very high. But the connection of the whole group is outstanding. They do the Thursday night dinners. They do all the little things together. But that's a group that works very, very well together. And I think when you get in those spots, it definitely gives you a chance. And those guys definitely delivered.
Scott.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. During the losing streak, you talked a couple of times about how you've always felt like handling success is more difficult than handling adversity.
It's not a problem today, but I'm just kidding.
Is that any part of your message this week? No. So bad
No.
you needed a win and you got one?
No. We're still pretty far down in the valley of adversity right now. So we've made one step in the right direction. So we've still got a lot of climbing to do. So I mean, it's definitely to get some. It was great to get some, wind under our wings and start that. But this game is going to come on. This Thursday game comes on you so fast. It really does. And really, the rest of the recovery I think is critical. You learn that over time of how the planning and training of the team to get ready for this game. So that's really where my mind is and my heart is too, because I do know how important it is for this locker room, because we need this game. We recognize that the urgency's there, but we got a long ways to go.
Ed Werder, WFAA. You mentioned how important yesterday was to the players, all things considered, the losing streak, who you were playing against, the circumstances, the roster you had available. How personally gratifying was it to you?
Very, very gratifying, no doubt. On every level, have tremendous amount of love and respect for Dan, and a number of those coaches on that staff. So I had a chance to visit with Dan for the game. That was awesome. But the reality is too, I do not take it for granted for every opportunity that I'm a part of in this league. I think the year off in 19 really brought that home for me personally. So I do. I can't get to the stadium early enough on game day. I love every minute of it. I've done this a long time, so I do enjoy every moment. So when you do win, when on paper you're probably you're playing uphill, definitely it's gratifying. But at the end of it, this is a player's game. I mean, it always will be. I understand my role and the importance of my role. Most importantly, the ability to be consistent, especially in these times. But it's about the players. I just can't. That's the locker room. That's what I'll think about on the porch when I'm done. Just those moments to see the gratification of what those guys accomplished yesterday.
And one follow-up on Turpin.
Yeah.
How unusual is it, in your experience, that a 155-pound guy can perform like he does in this league?
Very unusual. I mean, he is, for as gifted as he is tough as nails. I mean, and he does it, week in and week out. So yeah, he's a special young man. I tell you, we're very blessed to have him.
Brad Sham, 105.3 Mike. Coaching point, if you had to do over again, would you prefer Wanye slide down to one?
Oh, definitely. I wish he should have fell right to his knees when he caught the ball. But yeah, that's we call it no moss. It's a no moss situation. So, I think just like anything, when you get in those spots, you got to look at everything involved. From a coaching perspective, the communication, the reminder there. But yeah, that game should have been over at that point.
What do you attribute some of the guidance struggles with the penalties? Yes. It's a big emphasis. We've obviously talked about it, time and time again. And it's just the discipline and the stance of breaking that plane, and it's just not consistent enough. There's communication, and every crew's different, but it has to stop. I mean, he knows it. I mean, he feels sick about it. But we just got to get it corrected. I mean, those are penalties that potentially took points off the board or an opportunity to score more points. So, and we got to get it corrected. We're far enough down the line. He understands it, and that's how this league goes too. His name comes up in the pre-meetings with the officials. So, and it's an emphasis that the officiating department is making on a weekly basis. So, I mean, it's something there, and we got to be better than it. Overall, would you say in that game he had a pretty good game outside of what transpired in the fourth?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a young man with a very bright future, But it's always the little things and the details. I mean, it's the details is the difference between winning and losing. So, those are the types of things that it's because it's happened before, and he's corrected it, but it showed itself again yesterday. So we all need to be better. We need to get that fixed.
Ferguson, is he still in the protocol? Short week, kind of hard for him this week?
Yeah, good question. He's still in the protocol.
definitely looked better today than when I saw him Friday. So, but yeah, I don't have a clear answer for you.
Trayvon looking better today as well.
Yeah, he was limited today, so he went through the he worked some in the prehab group and did I can't tell you exactly how many reps, but he was involved in a walkthrough.
How big was that touchdown for your tight end, Schoolmaker?
Big for all of us. So no, it was just an excellent play. I mean, just the read by Cooper. They jumped to double CD at X and Scooney just he ran the route right on time. As far as the time clock and so forth. So that was a big play, and I think it's just like anything. Young player. 2 weeks in a row now. He's had production last week against Houston, and now comes up with a huge play in the game. That was a big play for us.
All righty. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.